I think it's more relieved wearing this. That orange color.
I tell you always, you know that we were on from India, we were around 265 people were at the start line. That was little lesser than 2019. There were 126 people who competed. It was a fantastic performance of India on the global female phase, but I want to call that. Okay. And from Bangalore, last time we were on 23 people. I gave the stats in the post list. It is not that others were not competent. They tried to this time we are on 48. 50 was there. In the last minute, 2 people didn't start the ride. 48 started the ride and 38 completed. 5 DNF, 5 late finish or something. So big congratulations to each one of them. So all of them, all the 48, we are there at the start line. As I've been telling, like when we made this speech in 2019, when we all came and co-talked, like many of you were there who live in that got inspired, and that's how we got 50 people being at the start line and so many people competing. And there are so many other people they wouldn't have dreamt being at the start line of PBP. Being there itself is a big achievement. So I believe now most of you, all of you also will get inspired. And people who are not here can look into the video, and I'm looking forward for at least for 100 people at the start line of PBP for 2027. With that, I will request the people who have done the PBP for first time to come and talk. I know people will have long stories to tell. I would request the participant to anything unique what you have felt, you can tell in 5 minutes, so that everybody gets a chance and we will see how it passes. So I would like to call first Ganesh onto the stage. Talk in whatever language you have, there are no barriers, that's fine. Come on, Ganesh. Any of you know Ganesh? Starting trouble, sir.
So, good morning, one and all. I don't know how to start. It will be for exactly the journey approximately 1.8 years back. So, mine and Lijo and Wasim just ride my first MCT ride. So, I told him after finish, Machi, something want to do. So, it is. I told him for that place was very nice after finishing that ride. So, he told me that, Macha, there is DRM is there and PBP is there. That time I will did only 200 only. So I was not get for that into that brevet. So next week we just discuss about that it is just started. So after that I set the goal. So everybody it is telling nothing is impossible. The word itself say I am possible. So that only thing I set in the goal, and every week used to for long endurance. For then I started for after 200 I did, and then I did for 1200. Everybody it is done for after DRM, and then they will get into the 1200. And Madurai I did for 1200. Then I started for the brevet, and every weekend for 200, 200, 200, 200. I do not have any places. So I am going to for the anxiety. Whenever I am going anxiety, I connect with nature, and then it is started. So then it is come to the PBP. We done the registration for mine and Naveen. So everybody pre-registration also done. Exactly June 10. After finishing the same before the weekend, I went for anxiety. Then suddenly one mail come, your registration was closed. Then I called Mohan sir, why it is happening for the dream, it is set. Then Mohan sir is told, so I am paying the amount. So it is slowly started. Everybody helping. Swami sir is bought for the accessories. He never took for that payment also. So it is slowly. So it is started, and then we applied the loan and booked everything for getting into the Paris. So mine and Naveen, it is literally thought, so we are in Paris. No, we cannot able to believe. So then we started the ride, and the main thing it is for that night, 24 hours we rode. That morning we did for 160 kilometers practice ride, and evening we did for 160 kilometers, the pure magic for which is Eiffel Tower, it is night time. Then it is starting the length.
No, if you want to, you are comfortable in Tamil, please use whatever language you want.
So I am not good for the English.
सबटाइटल चाहिए तमिल के लिए
Continue. We have reached Eiffel Tower now.
yeah
Language is not a barrier. People will understand.
So
Go ahead. So if you are
then it
comfortable
is
in Tamil,
started. So we are in the start line itself. Whoever the people are in come in start line itself, it is achiever. So we realized that we are into that almost 99% set the goal, and we are in the start line. Then it is started for 1200 kilometers. It is one of unforgettable moments in my life. If I am touched it for cycling now, I covered almost for 8 countries with road trip with Naveen and mine for some couple of friends. So the main thing I want to thank it for Mohan sir and all others legendary riders, because I cannot able to tell for that. All are helped me for whenever I am asking for the doubt, because each and every weekend ride start, I used to search for that Swami sir and MC Anna and Nagul sir ride only for that, what they did for that, who are the route and tough route we created for that, we are rode with all. So then it is started. It is one of unforgettable, once in a lifetime experience. Exactly for 2 years back, I also sit one of the row from. So that next 2027, you people are come and that same. This way,
you'll be standing here.
keep going
So only one thing I want to tell. Follow your dreams. You never ever stop believing at yourself. One day you will be achieve your goal. Then the happiness, it is you cannot able to buy amount. That is the only thing.
I know that dialogue. Please,
தமிழ்ல உங்களால முடியாது எதுவுமே கிடையாது. அதை வந்து நீங்க உங்க ட்ரீமை கால்குலேட் பண்ணி ப்ராப்பரா ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணி அதை ரீச் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அது கோடி ரூபா கொடுத்தாலும் பை பண்ண முடியாது. நான் சைக்கிள் ஓட்ட ஆரம்பிக்கலன்னா இந்த இடத்துல நான் நின்றுக்க மாட்டேன். இட்ஸ் அ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல். All out in my back, I get into that in my life. Now all failure, including love also. So this is my first proper success.
I wish him all the best in love also. Ella LinkedIn al post ಮಾಡಿ looking for love.
The Paris experience, the people who are how they respect cyclists. So that is a one thing we need to learn. If you are back into the cycling, they will stop the vehicle over there unless until we cross the road. So that, and people are come for that brevet 1200 kilometers. It will be for, they are celebrating festival like that. So they will providing the food and the road they are supporting is because mine and Naveen exactly we remember after 600 kilometers we does not have food and water also. So almost 645 and 650 kilometers the sunny day. So while we are going, we are searching the water. So finally we find out for two souls. Almost they are in for 60-65 years old couples. So they will offered for food. That food that is I never had tasted, and they will offered for one lime syrup, which is like for amurdam called. Then they will be note out where you are come, where you are from. Then we told them for India, so they will note down that India. So they are supporting that like the cyclists. They are respecting the cyclists, and they are how they are for in Paris. That is main thing.
Thank Ganesh. Big round of applause for him. I will tell you that lot of and many people, for them, the first international trip itself is Paris, and that happened because of cycling. Okay. So thanks for sharing your experience. You can know next time going to contact for all this.
If you practice sincerely, impossible you can make it possible. That's only.
Nishant, just to let you know, Nishant cycled from here to Salem on Friday night. He finished at 300 and he's here to further. So give it up. Give it up. Finishing at 300 km in Salem and he has to share his experience.
Hi all. So my cycling journey, I just was on riding MTB, local rides and other things. Then I just got a road bike. Then after the Centenary 200, I got to know that BRM, there are long rides, about 200 plus. So I was like, why not, let's give it a try. So after first Devarayandurga Hills, I was like kind of regretting that I pushed myself to do a 200 kilometer. And after 1 day or 2 days, I felt good that I completed 200. So from there, the cycling journey started. Literally from last 2 years, I've been doing almost all the BRMs. So first ride, the next ride, I saw Ganesh wearing a Paris-Brest-Paris jersey. So I got curious. So then slowly I started discovering all the things, and then read Maury's blog about PBP. So yeah, so this was my first international trip as well. It happened with cycling, so I'm happy that both the things collided. Going to Paris, it was somewhat of a cultural shock for me, especially seeing all the vehicles here. They don't stop at the zebra crossing and other things. I was literally waving at the vehicles, asking them to move, and they wouldn't just move. I was like, what if I go sit in front of the car? What will you even honk? So I was trying to get them to reach their limit or make them honk. So that was some experience. Apart from that, they really respect cyclists. Second day of the ride, there was a truck behind me. I didn't realize for a while because I was somewhat drowsy, and it took some time. So basically, I was wondering again why they won't honk or just let the other vehicles move. So that was the thing. Weather and everything somewhat comparable to Bangalore and the terrain thing. So it was a wonderful opportunity riding BRMs in Bangalore and around Karnataka. Mainly somewhat motivated to explore Karnataka, and like it happened on the cycle, so I'm very happy on that. So the terrain and weather-wise, it suited, but it was very cold at night. Like it had dropped to around 12 and 14 degrees in few places, and I had not prepared well for the cold. So I struggled with some sleep management and the cold. Apart from that, during daytime there was no issue with the food availability, like the water and everything. There were many stalls, ad hoc stalls, cafes and other things. So that's about
Any unique experience?
Unique as in mainly it was related to the seeing all the honking and seeing all the cyclists from various countries, and each were good in different sections. Like some were doing very well on the climbs, some were really good on the flats. So it was a good last.
Where you raced?
The last 100 kilometers. So actually, I was a little behind time. I had some stomach upset issue in the last but second CP. So I was like last 200 kilometers to go. I didn't expect something like this to happen. Then I took a pill for the. And I rested for some time. Then I was like, do or die situation, let's complete it. So I just pushed on and luckily was able to complete it with 15-20 minutes in hand. That was some memorable last kilometer.
How is the terrain?
Terrain wise, it's somewhat rolling or like whenever we see a church, there was an uphill. So that was the assumption. That was my experience.
So, what are the
Yeah. Everyone can
Rightly said.
only in few places it was in a downhill section, so I was like, yeah, in the return route we'll have to go out. So, but lovely riders, and it was since we were riding on the right side of the lane, it took some time to getting used to riding. So it was a wonderful experience. I got into some 2-3 pelotons with good riders. Even they were surprised or they appreciated me for being from Bangalore and India. So I was happy they realized or noticed that. Yeah, it was a wonderful experience. I was not so keen on going abroad and riding, but then I was like, this wonderful group, let's have a good
repetition at the
last minute. So everything last minute. But yeah, it was a wonderful experience. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Mohan.
Thank you.
Top to bottom PBP. Sorry.
He's got the PBP hangover still.
Yesterday also you wore this.
No, man. Okay, good. So, I'll not repeat whatever people have told. So, thing is that as Ganesh told, no, if there is a dream, work hard to reach that, and you would definitely be able to reach. Just to tell an example, 2019 when Mohan and Monish and Grini others were going, I was at the airport.
He was the only guy who came to see us.
See off.
It was
And
amazing.
that, I'm telling you, that was the moment which I thought
That
that
sparked you.
I will have to at least be at the start line. So that I kept it as a dream, but you know, anyway, fortunes had something else to say, had 3 accidents and other things. But having said all those things, no, if you have the dream and train hard for that, nothing, the entire universe would stand behind you, and you have a wonderful group. We are, I mean, I'm not just naming Mohan alone because he won't like if I name him alone. We have a wonderful group which motivates you, put you into the right track and get you there to the end point. I'm telling you, Mohan told 100 at the start point, but I was thinking at least 100 has to finish. Next time, we all have the responsibility to take at least 5 along with us and make them finish. We have to see a 100 number at the finish line. Just to share the experience, I mean, it is wonderful experience. You cannot imagine, it cannot be told in words that what we experience there. You know, at the start point, the day when you land, he told, like, you know, we were excited. We all are excited. And seeing the first day when you go to register, the sea of cyclists who are there, no? By that itself, you feel so excited. I mean, you feel that, oh, we are in the different world altogether. And you see different cycles. And I've been like, you know, clicking photos of all the cycles. They call Velo Mobile. You have a tandem, triple tandem, what do you call that? Tricycles, everything, all sorts of cycles are there. So seeing that itself, you get excited. And leave that, like, you know, the people who are there, I mean, like, see, you will see 50-year-old, 60-year-old, both male and female, like, you know, they are just pedaling. I mean, like, okay, when you start the ride, you see them just crossing you and you feel like, you know, oh yeah, we are not there. But fine, that's okay. So let them go in their pace. A lot of Peltons will keep crossing you. You feel that, the best experience is this. What motivates me is I started at 6 o'clock. We all have a number A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I was in I. So when I see a rider, I keep looking at the number. Am I late? Am I good? Bad? So what happens is in half an hour, I started at 6 o'clock. Less than half an hour, you will see one Pelton would be coming. That would be J. J would be coming and crossing. Oh man, I'll have to little push up hard. Then you will see J, H, I, J, K. When I was crossing Brest and coming back, I saw Q. I was thinking, what am I doing? Am I doing right thing? But yes, having said all those things, you have put that in your mind. You need to complete certain things. Being a vegetarian, I just wanted to tell, I'm being vegetarian, and a lot of help I got from Swami Prasad and various other people, how a vegetarian has to, it's not difficult. In CPs, you get enough food. But you have to be little fast. You have to select the right thing, what you need, and pick up and eat. So thing is that Swami gave a good suggestion. Be comfortable with the baguette bread. Okay, baguette is a bread which is very hard bread. Be comfortable with that. I mean, he used to tell to all vegetarians. Prasad also told, no, it is not possible. No one was telling that, no, it is not possible for you guys to get comfortable. I started buying those things here, trying it out. But having said that, I'll tell you, it helped first 2 days. Third day onwards, mouth also started coming. I mean, you cannot eat that. Third day onwards, I started having only that. I mean, like you get in CPs good soups and other things. You should not miss that. You should definitely have that because you don't get anything outside. I started putting out the chicken from the sandwich, eating the bread alone. Those things I have done. But you need carbs, right? You need carb. Protein is something which I would have missed in the whole, right? So be comfortable with whatever you have and don't miss food in the CP thinking that you might be able to get something outside. Second thing is that be very fast. Quick in the CPs. Minimum 12 to 15 CPs are there. 12 minimum mandatory CPs. There are food control points. So if you get in, you are tend to miss, or at least skip 30 minutes minimum, 30 to 45 minutes minimum. Calculate that exactly what you need to do, what all things you have to do and come out quickly. So food management, sleep management, and sleep is one of my main problems. I'm telling you, the worst experience I had was the last stretch. I have to tell this because last stretch was pretty bad. Last stretch when I say 200 to 120, that stretch, I'm like feeling sleepy. 4 times or 3 times I stopped and slept on the field or wherever it is. So that created a bit of a problem for me. I would have wanted to finish little early, not that. When I started, I was very clear. 90 hours is there. At least by 89 hours only, I wanted to finish. I was not so I wanted to finish 4-5 hours early, but I didn't want to finish little tight also, which it happened because of various other reasons. So plan well, execute well, and we all have to be. At least from BR, we should see at least 200 registrations. I would say whatever it is, 100 successful riders next time. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carry on.
Okay, now here.
All right, so 4 or 5 days before the event, my hotel reservation cancelled. And I had booked this hotel almost 4 months ago, January, so 6 months ago. And 4 or 5 days before the travel, the reservation got cancelled. And I put it in the group, panicked, trying to figure out what do I do now because I'm not very familiar with the place. And Rohit and Akash were kind enough to let me into their room. So the point that I'm trying to make is be part of this group, BR group, whichever event you travel internationally. There's so much of experience and so much of kindness and best practices that they keep sharing throughout, plus the positive vibes that you get when you're part of this group is phenomenal. I mean, be it part of the overall community or just the riders who participate in these events, be it LEL or PR.
You shared scissors, no? No, sorry, you should show him that guy. He got this.
Thanks, Pradeep, for that.
And so that's the first learning for me, to be part of this group and be with them, stick with them, irrespective of whichever hotel it is, be with them. Lot of problems get resolved by just being part of this group. Number one. Number two, I have a very difficult relationship with my stomach. I have more DNFs in 1200 than finishes. Chalukya, I DNF, stomach issues. I DNF, BGB because of stomach issues, all halfway through 600. And I thought, I don't think I can do 1200 not because of riding capabilities, but because of the gut health, stomach issues. So for me, the biggest learning after LEL was, it's not about, at least personally for me, it was not about riding capability, it's more to do with how do I manage off-saddle issues. And preparation for PBP started from there. Try to figure out what works best for my stomach, what doesn't work, and avoid those in a very disciplined manner if you're really aspiring to complete these events outside. So I learned that through the process when I was doing 300, 600 kilometers, what works best for my stomach. And very disciplined, figure out what are some of those synthetic superfoods that work. It's important to have that as well as a backup, just in case you don't get food. And I heard that PBP you will get a lot on control points, but you may not get what you want en route. But that was a misconception. What I realized after doing PBP is it's one of the most phenomenal places to ride because of unsupported ride, yes, but you get a lot of support because every 20 kilometers is a village. Be it during the day or night, people will be standing and clapping for you when you're riding, and they'll be offering coffee, water, bread, food, whatever. So that was never an issue. I don't think you will face any issue when it comes to food for PBP. Because one, obviously you will have control points, but control points you have to wait. If you're not a fast rider, then it consumes a lot of time. At least 20-25 minutes is given because you have to stand in the queue to get your stamp. Then you have to park. If you forget your bottles, then you have to go back to the parking lot and again collect the bottles and come back and refill. So 25-30 minutes is gone by default. Then you'll lose another 20 minutes because you have to stand in the queue for food. That is something that you don't have to worry about during PBP because you will have villagers who will support you. The third big problem that I had, obviously, as I said, was stomach. And Prasad messaged in the group saying, you don't have to worry about washrooms because washrooms are there in every village that you go past. And that for me was a big blessing in disguise because I had to use washrooms because of stomach issues, and 3 or 4 villages had washrooms, clean washrooms, unlike what you come across here on petrol bunks, very clean washrooms. So anybody has stomach issues, you will be taken care in these kind of emergencies, especially during PBP. I won't say the same about LEL, but especially during PBP. The other thing that I would want to highlight is around expense. If I had to go back and check how much I spent during PBP, it's 1,20,000, 1,30,000 max. So if you're a smoker and if you drink, you quit smoking, quit drinking, you will save 1,20,000 in 1 year. So you can save that much of money if affordability is an issue. And because you're part of this group, you end up saving a lot. I mean, to be very honest, when I booked the room, I had booked it for 44,000. I ended up paying 13,000 thanks to Rohit and Akash because they let me into the room. So yeah, these are some of my experiences, but phenomenal experience overall. As I said, I had more DNFs, this is my first successful, 1200 kilometer ride that I completed. I'm very pleased with that experience.
Like Barry, last time we had Manas in Alien, who had DNF'd all the long rides here, but he finished the LL there. So it's not that you won't finish anything here, you'll not be able to finish anything. So the more you like green is a podcast, the you're not failing, you're not learning more.
Well, that's about it. Thank you very much.
So we have a Venki sir. He has also not done any 1,200 in India, but he was there in 2020. There were 10 people who went to Thailand for a 2,000 kilometers ride. He and Satish, and they were the youngest people who competed. That's what I would say. They completed the 2020 kilometers. Next one comes Risho.
Least amount of mileages in terms of cycling, right? Or be it the alarms. This is my first successful alarm. So my first attempt was BGB. So that was DNF. I will not give into the details of what went in ride. I'll share some unique experiences. So in BGB, so I have a habit of cycling with group. So my gang is here. So there's Ganesh, Naveen, Wasim. They're my gang. We used to cycle along. So I used to carry that habit. So then that was one of the reasons that I couldn't finish BGB because I was riding well, but my tire got snapped, so I couldn't fix it. Then that's how I couldn't. I had to DNF. Then later on, one day I get a call from Mohan sir. So like some other issue, he started scolding me. What did you do? So he started saying me, pointing out my mistakes. And the same time, so Ratish over here, he went into my Strava run, right, and he started analyzing at what point I made mistakes. And they give me a lot of positive feedback. So he told me, don't even wait for your dad in DRMs. So I took it to my heart, and that is where.
Wait for me, okay?
I was on phone with you.
So that is how I started an MC Anna's blog. So everyone should actually read his blog. It's a very lengthy blog, but trust me, he captures everything so well. So I'm already into the next LEN or the Thailand thing prepared of reading his blog. So
Bible for it.
yeah, he's our kind of Bible for this thing. But
What is the blog? I'll share.
so the main good thing that I want to explain for people in France, okay, they're amazing, literally amazing, as in like as they told. So even we are all sleepy. Even the sleepy, the vehicles, they don't cruise by you. They stand. They'll not even honk. Okay, we feel bad. I stopped and tell him, please you go. I'm feeling guilty because that was a hill climb. He is holding on just so I pass. So another thing that I experienced is that I had a privilege of sharing what you call jerseys with. So there's one custom there. So I was not aware. Mohan sir put it in the group saying that you can exchange your jerseys. So we bought some extra jerseys and I could exchange with foreign people. I have now a lot of foreign rider friends in the due course, and it's like this is, even though they say it's unsupported, it's very well supported. Okay, you get massages. Okay, so you get massages and the food. And it's just that
It looks like you're bribing them.
So the food, it's okay. So we all carried these Maggie sachets in case if it was not tasty, open up, put it and eat. So it was an amazing experience. But it all starts from your goal set. Okay, so I started with Ganesh. So I used to take inspiration from him. He used to copy it from Monish Anna. So you have to have set goal and just keep practicing, and I think everyone can achieve it. Thank you so much.
With many of you here, so I'll start with a perspective of who wants to go to PBP next. Making the decision to go there is probably a half problem solved, because after that you have a good support system. You have Mohan sir, you have all the inputs here. You have Monish, you have Swami sir, you have not many people to give you inputs. So you have to basically put your goals together, get a timeline for your preparation, and then go ahead and execute it. in terms of your physical abilities. Many of the rides that we do here probably match what is available overseas as well. The difficulty there would be probably the weather. So getting the right gear will help you with that. And coming to some unique experiences, for me, I've gone overseas, but not for cycling. And going there just for cycling, it's a different world. You have probably like different personalities getting together for the same goal. So you're on the road for so many long hours. Eventually, at some point, somebody will start talking to you. Because they'll also not have a company, they'll get sleep, so you'll end up striking conversations and you get to know random things about random people. One other thing I found was, it was literally business class treatment. There was a control point called delay, and on the way back, this was the penultimate GP. There was queue, literally the entire town had come in, but there was a priority for cyclists. So in the lane, you would probably, there was a student ambassador who would, or a volunteer rather, they would come with you, take all the food items that you want, they'll stay with you till the food queue, and that was just business class, to be honest. You can't expect anything more than that. And in terms of the ride itself, the locations in terms of scenery probably match what we have here, but minus the traffic. Literally not much traffic there, so you are on your own in the zone, just going, and there's a sea of cyclists. You find one reflective vest or the other. The one difference probably is the road smoothness. So there's a lot of ruggedness there. So you'll probably going down 2 kilometers per hour or something. That's something you can compensate because of the low traffic. And as somebody else said here, every CP you climb up. That was devastating mentally. You climb up and then you find the barricades and then go in. In terms of the CPs, as you can probably expect, like here you are quick, get out, take the food, take what you need and get out. But there you probably end up spending 20 minutes to 30 minutes just because it's a different setup. You have to go around to find the restaurants and the restrooms. They're in different locations. But you have to keep in mind the arrangements at each CP is for 6,000 plus riders, and that's no mean task. And the other last unique thing I would like to complete with is navigation. I did not have to use any navigation. Every turn, every board, they were clearly marked. And if you were approaching a turn, probably 50 meters before you had one board, then at the turn you had one board. So it was easily locatable. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Akash, and first thing is like if you want to do PBP better, you guys prepare yourself. Prepare yourself in the sense, keep your rides. First thing is like you ride whatever Mohan sir plans. That's what I'm telling. That's why I'm telling it now.
Still you can do PBP.
Don't do that. Because whatever Mohan sir plans, that might be elevation climbs and then long distance, it's like completely you can rely on that. Because there the climbs are like 8 gradient, 10, 12, whatever he does, the GOH and much more. It is the same elevations, and do not compromise on your rides. I'm telling you, because you'll end up like struggling. What I did was like my last ride was BGP. After that, I did a 600 with Rohit, and then I didn't ride at all. Mohan sir was asking me, you put on mileage. Even Rohit was like, you plan your rides, and I was like, every time I was telling like, yes, I'll do it, but I was not able to do it because my reasons, like I was working, I mean because of the work and a lot of other things. And only one thing is like I was regularly doing my training, only weight training I was doing, and his concern was like he was caring a lot, like I should do it. And Pradeep, I mean we three ride together, so Pradeep was also like worried where I'll be struggling, because most of the time what we do is like we three ride together. He will go ahead and I'll be with him, or we stick on and we go. But here it's like when he is going ahead, I don't want to waste his time as well. That was my concern. And he was telling don't take it light, because as you think you'll struggle with the food and struggle with climbs as well. And I was not prepared for climbs at all. So what I thought was like, every time when I was asking, he was telling like, your ride is decided in first 200 kilometers. And same thing, Monish sir also told me the same thing. First 200, you guys. And I was listening to all the conversation. First 200, how it will be. I spoke to Venki sir also. He was also telling his experience. And a lot of other people like, first 200, what they do. Then I decided like, my target is like first 200. No matter what it is, I should catch him. And his start time was like 5:30, mine was 5:45. And every time Pradeep was, he was scaring me like, he will go off. You won't catch him. And that was stuck in my mind. And initially, my only target was like, somehow first CP, I should catch him. I was very sure he'll wait for me. That was there in my mind. But catching up there on time, like only buffer of like 30 minutes or 40 minutes was my plan. And initially, I didn't want to ride alone or anything. I was trying to catch up with some peloton. Somehow I would draft. And that plan was very well executed because I was seeing Abhishek overtaking me, Dhananjay sir, Suresh, everyone. I'm like, did I do a mess by coming here and did I do something wrong? Then I was like, no, stay calm. Still crowd is there. He was telling only one thing, one or the other pelotons will be there. I was worried like, one if it's gone, whom will I catch? Then I was seeing my pace, 25-30. And then immediately I used to catch up. And first CP, when I was reaching close by, I just wanted to see his bike. But the thing is like, it's not like BRM, where Mohan sir will be there, cycles will be like some 10-15, no. So hundreds of cycles will be there. Where will I see his red bike? I'll enter, I'll see Nakul and Pritesh there. Then my first thing was like, I didn't ask where is the sign point, nothing. I just asked where is Rohit. I did that. He was like, he's inside, go, he's waiting for you. Then I was like, fine, I'm safe. Then the moment I reached there and I saw him, he was like, you're wasting time, no. Because I do it. I slowly, I'll go for sign, then I'll go for water bottle, I'll eat food. I messed it up. This way, royally, I take a lot of time. And then he was like, do it fast. His concern was like, we should keep buffer time for sleeping. Always he plans for that. And I was like, fine. I was slowing down. Then he was like, no. He was like angry type. I was like, fine, okay. Whatever I got, I ate. I didn't want to eat that, but still I was like, I ate. And then we started riding together and first zone was like, I'm safe because I'm with him. So next target was like, I need to ride 24 hours so that at least my body will get used to riding pattern. Then I saw Swami sir and Prasad sir. And then I caught up with them. So we all were riding together and Rohit's chain got cut. So Swami sir, as always, will help him. I caught up with Prasad sir. And the main motto was like, I should be with someone. If I'm alone, I'm lost because the pace will come drastically. It will come down. I have experienced this because I had a very big hit in my G-Watch. I was remembering every time when I was struggling, I was remembering G-Watch and Mohan sir because I've done so much of mess. I've called Mohan sir and I'm like, in G-Watch, I'm telling, yeah, sir, I'm seeing some bus. Should I come in that bus? I literally I was lost because still it's like some 100 kilometers. I was hallucinated and I didn't want to get into that zone at all. At the same time, Pradeep was calling, are you with him? Are you going? I was like, no, he's 10 kilometers away, that much. And every time I used to ask, some rider is there, fine, let me go fast. At least somebody will be there. I used to do this. I've asked Sunil sir, I've asked Swami sir, Prasad sir, so many people I've asked. My only motto was like, if Rohit is ahead, somebody should be behind me so that that was my target. Then after 24 hours, my body was little okay. And once when you're done with 24 hours, no, everyone will slow down. Somehow you can catch up with them. Nobody will be targeting going fast. So I was just going with a maintained pace. And then where I struggled was like the second night, little bit I was deprived with sleep. Then I told him directly, somehow we should manage with coffee. And my sleep pattern is like this peak in the 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. I will be like very drowsy type. Somehow we were having a conversation, that might be Rohit or other riders. We used to be like talking a lot. And then once when early morning starts, then I was like, fine, now I'm okay. Just make sure that you're completing 600 kilometers. So 600, if you do that, then automatically your another 200 will be hard. Because Barry was with me. I was asking him also. Barry was like, 600 to 900 is hard. No other explanation, nothing. Only thing is 600 to 900, it is hard. I was like, fine, okay. This much have reached 600 to 900, what it is? Only climbs. Then once when we reached 600, Rohit had already, he had slept, he rested, and then we met. We wanted to eat breakfast, but that day I was not supposed to eat non-veg. He had taken, which sandwich? Some sandwich he had taken. I told, no, I won't eat. I got to know that he is angry because for him it is like saving time. For me it is like I don't want to eat because it's Saturday. That day I was not supposed to eat. Then I took veg and I told him, just to make him normal, I was like, you go, I'll come. I thought I'll catch him up from 600. It was only climbs. I was not able to catch him till Tintignac. And that day evening, I knew it. Pradeep called and told me he's like 2.5 hours or 3 hours you are away from me. I was like, fine, let me do something. At least when he's sleeping now, I should go there and reach. That day, I was very sleepy. Second day, I was very sleepy. That time, I met Uday sir. Uday sir was like, he was riding with me every, Uday sir, Galen sir and one more. Green. I saw them, they were like, I just wanted somebody to sleep so that I'll be with him. I am asking Uday sir, can he sleep? He's like, no, I'm not. I've asked him like some 30-40 times, okay? Every, like 2 kilometers we go, the light is there. I just see like, sir, ATM is there, no, I'm not sleeping. I want to ride. And somehow forcefully I made him stop somewhere, but their ATM was closed. We went and sat somewhere and he was like, no, vote for Bunny. Then we went to one checkpoint. Then there also I asked him. Because of me, he gave some 4 euros or something and he took that bed for sleeping. But it was not clean. Then he came back, he gave it. Then he was like, hey, no, it's not nice. I'll go. Then I saw Mohan sir. Then I was like, Mohan sir was sleeping. I thought like, let me do it. One side it's like, let me do it. One side it's like, no, let me go off with Uday, so that I'll meet Rohit. Then I was like, no, let him rest. I'll go. Then suddenly he was going. He thought I'll sleep. He was going. I came and I took my bag. Sir, I'll come. He was like, surprise. Don't trouble me. Don't depend on me. He did this. Don't trouble me. Don't depend on me. I'm riding alone. I was like, sir, ride anything, sir. I'll just be behind you. Don't tell me. But he was so good. Every time he was checking on me because I was very sleepy. Then he helped me during, he was leading and I was drafting. We did like some 60 kilometers. From there, completely he was taking the lead and full it was like nobody was there. Only me and him. Till we reached Tintignac, he was right next to me and that was the major change for my ride. I am very happy because that day if I would have slept somewhere, I would be late 101%. And the moment we reached Tintignac and he told I may continue, then I was like, I was sure there I'm sleeping because I saw his bike, I saw him, and first thing is like I paid. Then I was like, I saw, he had told me, Rohit is sleeping there. He was tracking me and every time he was like, he's waking up at 6:30. You decide what time. So I was like, I'll wake up at, he'll wake up at 5:30. So I was like, I'll wake up at 6:30. And what I did was there were 2 different rooms for sleeping. So I paid and then first I went and saw where he is. He was not there. Then I came here, I paid, then he was like, I'll sleep here only. So he was sleeping there, I was sleeping. What I thought was like, after I sleep, he'll come and wake me up while leaving. But that was a surprise, he didn't wake me up.
I didn't know you were there.
That is the whole point. I should have told him that I'm sleeping here. Then when he mentioned like you're on time, you don't have to be worried or anything. Just make sure you're leaving after 1 hour. After that, 6:30 sharp, they came. If we just write and give what time we are supposed to be leaving, they'll only come, they'll take that initiative and they'll wake up. And around 6:15, I woke up at 6:45 and I called him, there is he. Then he told he's already 1 hour away from you. So few Paris riders were there. Again, it was like not a uphill, it was a flat terrain. So I caught up with them. It was like 1.5 hours. I was just with them. So cover that buffer time. And after a while, there was climb. I slowed down. I didn't want to force myself at all. And I don't know who is behind me because I'd slept for like 2.5, 3 hours. I knew only he is ahead. Uday sir is ahead, Swami sir, Prasad sir, these people are ahead. I didn't know who is behind me. So I didn't want to take up the chance at all. So after that, climbs and all started. Then around 12 o'clock or something, I saw Mohan sir was resting somewhere. I was like, okay, fine, no worries. One person is there. I overtook him. Then after another half an hour, I saw Uday sir sleeping there. Then I was like, now I am safe. I did this. Actually, I clicked a pic also. I wanted to show him. I'm like safe now. At least 2-3 people are there. No worries. Then that day, almost it was like that day I was struggling because of the food. I was searching only for veg, but luckily few kids were there. They gave me like very good chocolates, cakes, and then they gave some sweet. It was homemade. It was filling. I ate properly, and then I rested for like some 10-15 minutes. I kept alarm. Alarm side near the tree I slept, and that was the first time I slept on road. I was like, I have to do it. Then that day evening, I started like no stress. Nothing. He was mentioning very clearly, you have sufficient time. Do not rush, just keep riding. That time I saw Greeny, and then again Uday sir was there. That last night, and Rajkumar and 4-5 riders were there. So I was like set. And then in that night, one thing happened was like Greeny's bike was like the gear was not shifting. So she used to fall, and I was like suddenly I see Akash, I heard. Then again I went back and they fixed the bike. Like the motorsport bike people will go. I'm holding in my keys to take the uphill. She told me in a simple way, you hold me and ride and go. I'm very clear. And she was on bike and I'm holding and I'm pushing. Literally, she started pedaling. First time that happened and she went little ahead and little more tuck sound came, but she fell down again. And then again I need to push. I thought then it was like down. We pushed the bike and came. She went down, and after that, she was like, we discussed like we should not change that gear and all. Then we reached 1 CP and she went ahead. I didn't want to push myself. Like that only we reached Dukes, and then I had a little bit of my knee pain, and then those medical people, they helped me, and I met Mohan sir there. He was like, yeah, you're stopping your ride here. I said, no sir, no. Then he was like, do it slowly only, you don't have to stress. And then Pradeep called, you have sufficient time, you don't rush, just make sure that you are not stopping anywhere. Even if you have pain or something, just reduce your speed, or in climbs you completely take it comfortably, you just complete. And then at last, almost like another 1 or 2 3 kilometers, Rohit called me, where are you? Then I was like, I'm coming. Then he was like, you're almost finishing. I felt very happy because he has taken so much of initiative than me. That might be from my passport, visa, my flight tickets, every time. Are you done? I was like, so many times I'm like, yeah, I did it, but he knew it, I have not done it. And he and Pradeep, they have helped me a lot. Yeah. Actually, I was supposed to get him nutrition powder and all, and I completely forgot. I didn't get it. Barry knows the whole story because Barry was staying with us. Always quarreling. He used to yell at me. I was like, yeah, it's there. But I used to get something else. And Venki sir also has helped me in big time in setting my bike, or even Sada. All of people, they have helped me. Mohan sir. I should be very thankful because without preparing, and I was able to complete it. It's not like I'm showing off or anything. It's all because of all these people were there. So I was able to do it. Or else it's hard. And one thing I would suggest is like always make sure, leave your ego, just be with everybody. Yeah. This is what I would say. Everyone will help you. They are very sweet and very humble. Anybody. I don't have to take out the names. Take it from Mohan sir or Venki sir, Swami sir, Prasad sir, Raghu sir. Raghu sir also. I was not having my credit card. He called, he told. Registration time. He was taking initiative to call and he was telling me.
But still you didn't take that card.
What side? You have to go from 2 angles you are practicing.
And even Barry, Moni sir, everyone. So just you guys be with all. 100% you'll complete it. I won't tell you like it's hard. It's easy. Make sure that you're putting mileage as well. Thank you all.
How many hours overall?
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And rest of the time you are chasing it.
The ride is very easy. Make it challenging.
Hi everybody. So this was in March last year. I had twins to do. Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. So after finishing Twin Hills, that's where my turning point started, where I saw that there is a ride called Joke, 1,000 kilometers. I had no clue what I was supposed to do there. Somehow struggled, finished to Joke. Then I met few riders from, I think Raj Suresh was there from one of the randonneuring. So he said, I cannot miss this ride because this is a qualifier for PBP. I said, what is PBP? I have no idea. He's like, no, this is something which will take me to PBP. I said, okay, let's do it. So that's where I started studying about PBP and then started doing multiple rides, upscale myself, lot of errors, enjoyed those errors and repeated that again so that I do a better error. So yeah, and then started doing all Mohan sir's rides. People started saying, whatever you do, just follow those rides, finish that. That's equivalent to have a good practice. And then, so my dream ride was Bangalore, Goa, Bangalore on a motorbike, which didn't happen. So I said, okay, let's do it on a bicycle. But luckily, I executed that well with good planning. I just made sure to sleep at every CP, eat well at every CP, and reach the finish line. And then the PVP ride, I had made no plans at all. No plan A, no plan B. It was just to ride. And then later, the PVP starting point, I had no clue who I was riding with. I was at the alphabet G, but I saw a few riders, I think, Swami, sir? Not sure. So then I started riding alone. I think you were there. I was in a different zone seeing so many riders with so much of excitement.
He saw you. He saw you there.
So I reached the midpoint with I think 49 minutes of buffer, which was good for me. I was happy that okay, I made it within the time. But later, after that, the second night, I started losing time, 1 hour, half an hour. I said, okay, I'll finish it later, no problems. But that was a bad decision to lose time. But I ended up having 5 hours of, I was back by 5 hours, in around 750 kilometers. That's when I realized I'm done. I was overshot with the caffeines and body started throwing it back. Then I realized, forget everything, just reach the finish line for the medal and enjoy the route, meeting everyone, all the new riders, whoever passed by. Some were resting, some gave up. I remember one rider from Japan, I think it's at Brooks, she was just chilling around the garden taking videos. I was like, hey, what are you doing here? She asked me one thing, do you think I can finish? I said, what's your alphabet? She said, H, it's J. I said, I am G, let's go. I'm way behind you, I'm overlapped, but I'm still going, join me. Then she started, okay, let's go. So that was the turning point where I started enjoying the ride. I think that was a time where it was early morning with mountain climbs. And it was raining. I said, this is what I wanted, which I missed in Coorg. This time, I think Coorg, it didn't rain much. So that's where I started enjoying the ride. I said, oh, I am late by maybe 2 or 3 hours. Then I stopped, chilled with every stall. They gave me soup, food, hydration. I started enjoying and then realized, okay, this was supposed to happen to me. Let's do it. And I was a little late, but then I realized let's not overstress. I had a lot of cramps and stuff on my knees. Then I reached the finish line. That's where I realized that you are appreciated there. There's so many applause, so many people cheering for you, no matter what time you reach. So yeah, eventually it's a great ride. Thanks to Mohan sir to pep us up with the practice rides throughout the year, right from Jan. So yeah, I'm happy that I finished the ride with a beautiful medal in my city. Thank you.
ಒಂದು ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ರೈಡ್ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ನಾನು BR ಟೀಮ್ಗೆ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿಕ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಿಮ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಭೇಟಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಹುಬ್ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಬೈಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ. BR ಟೀಮ್ನವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಂತೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಮಡಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಇಂದ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇವನ್ ಪಾಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟು, ವೀಸಾ, ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಬುಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೊಂದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಧನಂಜಯ್ ಸರ್ ಪಾಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ವೀಸಾದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇರ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು. ಸರ್ ಕೆಲವು ರೈಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ಗಳು ಕೊಡೋದು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ತರ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಒಂಥರ ತಮ್ಮ ಮಡ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ನಮ್ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ಗೆ ಇಳಿಸಿ ಹೊರಡ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಇಬ್ರು ಬಸ್ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಟೋಟಲ್ BR ಟೀಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಈಗ PBP ಅವ್ರು ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಆ ಲೈನ್ ಸೇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಈ ವಿಷಯ ಹೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕೆಲವು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ರೈಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಎಂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋವರೆಗೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಂಬಲ್ ಇದಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಂಬಲ್ ಯಾಕಿದಿರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಬಹಳ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನಾ ಆ ತರ ಫೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ನನಗೆ 2-3 ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರ ಹಂಬಲ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿದು ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಒಂದೇ ಯುನಿಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಗಳು ಕೆಲವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ನನಗೆ ಎರಡು ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್ ವೆಜಿಟೇರಿಯನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಕೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ವಿ ನಾವು. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಜೋಳದ ರೊಟ್ಟಿ ಬೆಳೆದ ಮನುಷ್ಯ. ನನಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನಾನು ಪಿಜ್ಜಾ ತಿಂದೇನಿ. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನನಗೆ ತಿಂದೇನಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಮೈದಾದ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಸರ್ ಕೆಲವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫುಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಂದಿದ್ರು. ಅವು ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಗೊಜ್ಜು ಅವಲಕ್ಕಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್ ತಂದು ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಫುಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡೆ. ನಾನು ನಾನ್ ವೆಜಿಟೇರಿಯನ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವು ಟೈಮ್ ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ತಂದಿದ್ದ ಫುಡ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೈಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಹುಬ್ಳಿಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೈಡ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 10-15 ಜನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್. BR ಟೀಮ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಗರ ಕಾಣ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಮುದ್ರ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ಟಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕಲಿಕೆ, ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಹೊಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲಿರೋ ಜನರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಮುಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಸದುಪಯೋಗಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ BR ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರೈಡರ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ BR ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಬೋಲಿ ಟೋಲ್ಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ರೈಡ್ ಹೋದಾಗ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದವ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರು ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಹೋಲ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ರ್ಯಾಂಡೋನರ್ಸ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಏನ್ ನೀವು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲವು ಟಫ್ ರೈಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಇಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ನಾನು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಬೈತಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಏನ್ ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್ ಈ ರೂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಗ ಕ್ಲೈಂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಂತ ಹತ್ತಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ನಾವು ಅವತ್ತು ಬೈದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ವಾಪಸ್ ನಾವು ತಿರ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವತ್ತು ಕನಸು ಕಾಣ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದ್ ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕನಸು ಕಂಡದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ. ನಾವು ಫಿನಿಶಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, PBP ಹೋದೆ ಬಂದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. PBP ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ರೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಸುನಿಲ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ನನಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ನಾನು ಲೇಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಆದ್ರೂ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಪ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ನ ಜನ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಇವೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರಿ, ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ರೋ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ನ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸರ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ, ತುಂಬ ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಸೂಪರಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಜನ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಸರ್ BR ಟೀಮ್ದು ಏನು 48 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವಿಬ್ಬರು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು 50+ ಆದಾಗ ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಸೊ ಈಗ ಈ ಹಿಂದೆ 2019 ಹೋದ ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಈ ಸರಿ PBP ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದೊಂಥರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲೆಕ್ಕನೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಪದೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ 2027ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೊಸ ಟೀಮ್ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೊಸ ಟೀಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 100 ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆನ್ ಆಗೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ಲ, 2019ರಲ್ಲಿ 27 ಜನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ 4 ಜನ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಇವತ್ತು ರಿಸಲ್ಟು 38 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ 48 ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂದ ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 100 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೂ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಘಟಾನುಘಟಿಗಳದಾರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅವರಿಂದ ನೀವು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೈಮ್ ತೊಗೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್.
ಶೆಟ್ಟಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ is around 80% ಫಿನಿಶ್ ರೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we had 2 people from Odex, Mysore, both of them finished, that is 100%. Okay, and the 2 people from Hubli, okay, both of them finished, that is 100%. They are way ahead of us. What I'm trying to tell you is, these are the people from tier 2, tier 3, not just in Karnataka, across the India, which I have noticed. There's so many other clubs, they're coming from very small clubs. As everybody told, in Bangalore, you have wider exposure, you wider, there's so much of information available, so much of rights that is available. But there are people from even dreaming from a small tier 3 city, from there they come and finish the race. That's what I'm saying. Next one.
Good morning, everybody. So I think PBP, the next PBP is 4 years away. There's a lot of time to prepare. Okay, but I'll just give you major points what you want to focus on if you want to ride. Okay, I started in 2019. I finished ASR. The next year was pandemic, 2020, and we were not allowed to stop anywhere outside. Okay, I rode one ride 100 kilometers. I cleated at my outside my door, finished uncleated outside. Okay, so that is how you need to ride every ride in VR. Okay, CP to CP. You need to have that mental toughness. You have to develop that mental toughness. Okay, that's what will take you in the VRMs also, not just PBP. Okay, second thing is no, there will be a lot of things that will happen on the ride. Now something. No, you may drop your water bottle, or no, there may be mechanical failure, but you have to be very adaptable. Once you develop that adaptability, something happens. Now, I think, in 150 kilometers to the finish line, I forgot my water bottle. One water bottle I forgot in the previous restaurant where I had food. I looked at it, and then I thought, okay, 150 kilometers to go. It was 11 o'clock in the night, and in cold weather, you don't need water, so much water. I just continued. It was only 5 seconds thought process for me to arrive at that decision. I didn't even think twice about it. Okay, one more water bottle I have. I'll continue tomorrow anyway. I'm going to finish sometime around 10 o'clock. By the time it's not going to warm up, I just went ahead. Okay, I'll give you another example. Now, I always carry, in Decathlon, you get a foldable backpack, 10-liter backpack. It's about 300 rupees or something. Fits nicely in your jersey pocket. Now you can carry it in your jersey pocket, and the advantage is that it opens up a 10-liter bag, and you want to carry 2 kg of food, or something happens, you can always carry. Last year, Kittur 330 kilometers. Now we are somewhere 330 kilometers. There's still 1/3 of the ride done, and I still have to cover another 650 kilometers. My handlebar bag broke, completely broke. Now it's about 3-4 kg of weight. What do? I had this bag. I unpacked the whole thing. I put that in the bag, carried on my backpack for the next 700 kilometers. I didn't drop it anywhere. I took it for the next 700 kilometers. Okay, and that is what I call as adaptability. And Akash also told, right? I was very upset with him because he was not allowing me to. I was not allowing him to sleep. Okay, most of you will ride BRMs. 200. Most of you will see only the daytime. Daytime, it will become hot. And when you get to 300, you will finish by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. You'll probably get a little bit drowsy. 400, you'll complete one day. You'll sleep sometime and then go. But the real fun starts after 400, after you complete 24 hours. Okay, it's a real pleasure riding in the night. One, because of the cold weather, you'll be very fast. Okay, and if you have adapted to the cold weather and you can control sleep, you can be twice as fast as what you do during the day. It won't be hot. You can continuously ride 3-4 hours, and my average speed during the night will be very high, and that's why now I was upset. Okay, and I mean, no, we met at Ludak, and then after that, we were riding in the night. We were averaging I was looking at the speedometer; it was constantly 28, 30. There was a good tailwind. Now we were going very fast, and this guy was saying, "No, let's stop for sleep. Let's stop for sleep." It was like nagging, and I didn't want to stop because we were covering very good ground, and that's one thing that you will have to do. No, there are two things now which conflicts. One is now night time, the temperature will be cold. You'll ride very fast. The second thing is now if you sleep in the night, it's twice as effective as what you sleep in the day. So you have to compulsorily sleep in the night. So it doesn't go together. You either sleep in the night or ride in the night. So you have to choose a slot which works for you, and then sleep for 1 or 2 hours, and then ride the remaining portion of the night. Okay. So that is something that you'll learn. Okay. And I'll come back to PBP now. I want to cover a few things. One is the PBP culture. Okay. So this is this ride was started sometime in 1891, and at that time, they didn't have Facebook, they didn't have WhatsApp, they didn't have Instagram. People had their own means of communication, and I think even from the beginning, I think first edition probably 50 riders started, and over time it grew, and there are communes, villages around the route, and people around these villages, they want to start and finish the ride, but how do they support for the entire 1200 kilometers? So the community is actually they help support each other. One community they say, okay, now I'll take care of your riders, the next town's riders. The next community says, no, I'll take care of your riders. So that's how they end up supporting for all the 4 days. Okay, and that's how the culture is developed. And when you go, right, when you start, you won't feel it. Okay, they will clap at you and say, no, you're attempting a big ride. And after, you go to the 600 kilometers, you will really feel, okay, you've come to the halfway point. And we are going back, and they'll be clapping at you saying, oh, you've come halfway point. And when you're coming back 1000 kilometers, you've already completed 1000 kilometers, you've done a great job, they'll keep clapping at you. And it will happen, you'll see people on the road, whether it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon or 2 a.m. in the night. It'll be constant. There'll be a lot of people on the road, just standing there, cheering you up. Okay. And the other thing unique thing that is PBP, and also in France, there is this fitness culture. Not only PBP, they also have one more event called UTMB, Ultra. It's Mont Blanc. The last this one. It's an ultra running race. It's also a huge event, and almost 3,000, 4,000 people participate. And being a running event, it goes only around 300 kilometers. But as big as a festival like this, France, they appreciate fitness, and they also have a very good support for cycling system. One, the infrastructure is there, roads are there, and people respect cyclists. When you are going there, they appreciate that you are cycling, and they don't come and honk behind you. There's no road rage incidents there for cyclists. Okay. Other thing that I want to tell you about the medical support. Okay, 300 kilometers to the finish, I had some knee issue. It kind of was worsening. So I went to the initially, I thought, okay, no, let me just ice it, and I was looking for ice. I went to the cafeteria. I was for the attendant. I was trying to get some ice, and he said, no, you go to the medical counter. There was a counter which was handled only by paramedics, and they looked at me and said, no, this is not something that I can deal with. You have to go to a doctor. And I went to a doctor, and he looked at it, and he was speaking French, and I'm speaking English, but he was able to understand, but he was not able to communicate what he wanted to. And then we found out, he typed whatever he wanted to in Google Translate and showed me. He said, no, you have this inflammation, and you have to take this particular tablet. Luckily, I had the 6 tablets, Ganesh sir had given, and I had already taken 1 tablet. And after that, he gave me an ointment. And also, he was looking at me because this is happened on the 3rd day. I was completely drowsy. He said, no, you have to sleep. Go to sleep. And I knew that I have to sleep, and I would have slept anyway. And he arranged a dorm for me. And that entire dorm, we were trying to find places to sleep. It was all crowded. There were queues, and there was waiting times. This complete dorm almost a dorm of 40 beds. No, I was the second person to go and sleep there. And they even did not take any money for what they usually charge. An hour later, I woke up, and then after that, I had 300 kilometers to cover. This one, because they had put external ointment and applied, it subsequently recovered. I kind of, had to carry myself to the ride. Okay, carry myself through the ride. It was not very hurting, but I was able to finish easily. Okay. Other than that, I think Akash spoke very much about the sleep. I think that's all I want to cover. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to let you know, what are the bikes you ride?
Yeah.
You had a steel bike. Right?
Yeah, I am very interested in steel bikes. So whatever I'm riding now, it's like a nearly 40-year-old bike. Oh. Thank you.
Finished 2 LRMs, international events, back to back, late.
There are many.
Post-COVID, probably I carry the distinction. So I'm not here to inspire you guys. It's more about reflections. So you must be wondering, right? What has made this guy qualified to come here and give us gun? No, I know the ego is battered, pride is bruised, dejected internally, but I'm still here to reflect on what probably I could have done better. So, couple of things, right? The first one is you should add PBP as part of your bucket list. If you like cycling and if you like endurance, right, just add this as part of your bucket list. There are no two ways about it. The culture, the enthusiasm, the energy, the route, it takes you to interior France, where every corner is like welcoming. The people are so warm, so friendly. In the middle of the night, you have aged couples come out and give you a thumbs up. People have set up tables with refreshments, drinks, and food pretty much at every elevation. So you don't get to experience it anywhere else. So go ahead, add that as part of your bucket list. Whether you finish it on time, don't finish it on time, just for the sheer experience, you should do it. Yeah, that's the first point. The second one is, of course, how do you really like to carry back this experience? So if you look at me, I told you I qualified, right? I gave you the caveat that I am not here to inspire anyone. It's more to do with the way I have enjoyed cycling. Cycling is an escape for me personally. So we have tasks, we have achievements, everything is professional and personal level, right? In cycling, I don't do that. So my definition of cycling is I want to take it easy. I stop at every corner, I take pictures, I talk to people, I build stories. So given the way and the style of my cycling, could I have done 1200 in 90 hours? The answer is, of course, my results. No, I wasn't ready. Actually hide behind a lot of reasons. In LR and in LDL, I could not ride for like 14 hours because of poor planning. I ensured that the planning was in place, but my gut gave away this time. So I had to rush to toilets every second hour or so. I was famished, and of course there was no energy. But these are like reasons, right? The root cause is my style of riding. I still enjoy lot of breaks, lot of sleeps, lot of pictures, lot of conversation. I want to sit in all these CPs, talk to people, learn more about them. So given my style, can I finish 1200 in 90 hours today? The answer is no. But can I do it? Can you guys do it? Absolutely yes. And what you really need to do is put lot of 1200s and 1000s behind your back. Make sure that you go through that churn, go through that experience. Make sure that your body is exposed to those conditions. How do you react on the 4th night or the 5th night? That only comes by experience. I know there are a lot of guys who have shared their thoughts. I haven't followed any of those, but I want to do it as I go forward. So that's the first learning. Make sure that you have as many rides as possible. Go through 4 nights, 5 nights of journey. That's my personal experience. The second one is, if you really like the way of riding as I described, probably you need to work on your FTP. Your cadence, your power needs to be at a different level. Probably I do around 20-21 kilometers per hour comfortably. So given my power, my FTP, probably 700 would be an ideal ride today as I stand. So does that mean that I'm not going to give it another try? No, I'm going to come back again, probably ride with many of you again in 2027. These are my reflections.
Thank you for more. Bring a really a different perspective.
Never underestimate.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not that old. Just wears the t-shirt. This PVP is a very unique event. Doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. 6,007. This is the way I talk. A bit soft-spoken.
Management.
So, yeah, PBP is unique. About 7,000 riders you will not find anywhere else in the world. As Shetapa said, 1,500, that's what we see around here. But 7,000 riders, so just being there, being at the start line is an experience. So, if I can do it, any one of you can do it. This is the attire I ride with. So, nothing fancy, no gadgets. And so, anyone sitting here can do the ride. As Sudhu said, just put some 1,200 rides behind you before you attempt it. You might kill yourself otherwise.
Personal experience, sir.
Yeah. No, I mean, don't underestimate it is what I mean, but it's possible. Anyone can do it. It's a fantastic experience. The community that VR has grown into is just amazing. If not for the ride, just getting to know these people, being with them for 2 nights in a hotel. My fear was never about riding. My fear is about, I'm taking a cycle in a cardboard box. Will I be able to set it up to ride? That was my fear. I'd never done it before. And then like Nakul, JP and all experts, they gave me just an Allen key. In 15 minutes, my cycle was ready to ride. And that was like, I was impressed beyond words. I had never done it before, apart from fixing punctures. So I was worried about that. My second worry is about staying awake 4 nights. Any amount of money in the corporate sector had not kept me awake for 4 nights. And riding a cycle for 4 nights for no reason, like that was beyond me. So that was my second worry. I was not worried about 1,200 or 2,000 or whatever. Once you're at the start line, you have come that far, you've spent a lot of money. I'm sure nobody's going to stop just for the sake of stopping. They will try, they'll put in their best, and they will try to go to the finish line. And as Aditya said, the reception you get at the finish line is like very different. If you have done some major events like the Mumbai Marathon or even the Bangalore Marathon, the support you get on the road for the whole distance is what you get in Paris. The crowd, the people, everyone is just amazing. You have people, families coming at 1 a.m. in the night, in the morning, wanting to cheer you up. So that feeling that 1,200 kilometers is a long distance, 90 hours is a long time, but you have support for the entire time. So it's an event worth going. If you have a chance, please do it. It's a fantastic event. Other events don't compare to this scale. So that's all I say. Thank you.
I will not say anything because everybody has said we get a lot of support from PR. I mean that is taken. I mean we know that. So I would say about the ride. So I had a plan to. I mean I went with a timing plan, which Mohan sir never recommends. But yes, I went with a timing plan, and my timing plan was to ride within 75 hours, or maybe approximately it was 74 hours and 15 minutes, less than that, because till 2019 that was the fastest PBP finisher. So I went that I will finish faster than that. Of course 7 people from India finished faster than that. That was not my fault. That's my plan, and I finished under 74. It was under 72, so I was very happy. And so the training was going good. 2 months before the training, I got real job. So I mean, I had to work very hard for 2 months. Lot of pressure from office. So all the training went haywire. ठीक है, चलो. reached Paris. I still knew ठीक है. So we have another rider, a very strong rider, Rajkumar, and I believe what he says. So he says, जब तक दम है दम लगा के चलाएंगे, भूख लगेगा खाएंगे, फिर दम लगा के चलाएंगे. And that was what I believed in. I went with that. And and another point was which you should keep in mind when you go to the start point, when the ride starts. Take one bottle of water extra with you, which you can throw, which I did not take, and it was very hot. And 6,000-7,000 cyclists and support staff, I was not able to fill water. So by the time the ride started, I was dehydrated. And after 30 kilometer, I was not able to ride. So when Akash said that I overtook him, that was not the case. I overtook him maybe when he was inside the CP, but he overtook me, and he is saying, "Hey, Abhi, you should ride like this, go down." So I said, yes, you go. So at around 70 kilometers, I saw some of old ladies offering water. I took it. In Bangalore, I never stopped for the first 200, but I stopped at 70, drank one whole bottle of water and filled it, kept going. At around 75, I again filled water where Uday sir had stopped for a small bite. After that, I was, that is when I realized, yes, now I'm back. Then I started belting. Then I had my first fall because I was overexcited. And since we ride on the right side of the road, and our tendency is that our handles are mostly turned towards the right side. So I was looking at Garmin and maybe going at 30 plus, and I went off the road and I took a topple. Got up, सब कुछ ठीक है, everything is fine, cycle is fine, ठीक है. Started riding again. Then I stopped for a loop break. I had parked my cycle. When I was coming back with from that small ditch, I held my cycle and I jumped, and my feet got stuck on the grass and I fell again. It's okay. So then I decided, no boss, control yourself. Let us ride, easy. So reached the first control point. Of course, late as per our fast BR rider standards. Yeah.
And you are the standard.
So then from 120 to 200 caught hold of couple of pelotons. So there again I had a mishap. It was like it was night. So and those small villages will have a very small divider. It will be this high. So and the peloton, it split and I couldn't. And I jumped on the divider with my carbon wheels and I was praying, God, please don't. And nothing happened. And it's a Chinese carbon wheel. But it's good. So then I thought, nahi, abhi tej chala ke, there is nothing doing riding fast. I'll go with my own pace. And then I met Anand. So Anand's only, ride plan was to tag with me. And thank God, I would say he tagged with me. So whenever I felt low, he was there, and we supported each other, and we have experience of riding together in BRMs. Maybe 200, 300. Either I would leave him or he'll leave me, and we'll go have our separate paces. But it was fun here riding with Anand, and in the end, at Brest, we had decided that we'll sleep for 3-4 hours. So we reached Brest within 30 hours, and slept there for 3 hours and then started from there. But I was still feeling sleepy, and it was around 4:30. But in India, usually I don't feel sleepy for 2 or 3 nights. But in Paris, I started feeling sleepy because Brest was quite cold the second night. So I took a caffeine tablet, and that caffeine tablet, kept me awake. I think maybe till I finish. Oh, yes, that was an amazing caffeine tablet, and and then so our target was to finish it in 70 hours because we were we thought we will do it, but so then around when we were 300 kilometers from the finish, Anand said that Anna, let us sleep for 15 minutes. I said, you sleep for 1.5 hours. Let us finish in sub 72. It will still be, under 3 days. So, okay, took rest, and last 150 kilometer, I had too much of saddle sore. although I was riding on an infinity saddle and all those, but yeah, too much of saddle sore. So I said, Anand, you go. I'll come slowly. You go finish in 72 hours. I will maybe I'll finish in 75. But that chap is not ready to leave me. He'll ride slowly. I said, "Arey yaar, pareshan kar raha hai. Abhi saath mein hi jana padega." So then I said to myself, "Suck it up and just ride." So then we rode and we finished. And Anand started 15 minutes before me. So they were ahead, and it was like 20 kilometers before the finish line. So when I catch up with him again, I see he's all down. Kya hua? No, 72 can't make it. Arey, hoga. We'll do it. So me and Rajkumar were together. So we said, come behind us, and we started belting, and he finished in 71:58, and that was like, I mean, it is what we wanted. So I would say you can go ahead with your timing zones also, and I think I could ride. I think everybody of you are stronger than me, and you can definitely finish faster.
So it had a romantic feel of being there at the Eiffel Tower. So I wanted to be there. I tried a lot of times going to various places and then being at the Eiffel Tower. So it didn't happen. And my journey towards international international travel or being at the flight is all because of Mohan sir. I took my first international flight, and that was my first flight experience, and I'm very proud of it being a Bangalore Randonneur. It gave me everything, maybe another perspective of what I am today, and I learned a lot. And cycling is physically, I know that I can do it. So it's all about being mentally prepared. You have trained a lot of things, but being mentally fully prepared is something that you need to be there for an endurance cyclist or an endurance runner or whatever it is. So physically I'm there, but my training was all about being mentally prepared. So I was preparing, not sleeping at times. Maybe backstage 2 to 3 months back, I was being awake for 3-4 days straight, and physically torturing me how much I can tolerate to that resistance. That's my story of not sleeping well during the rides. So I don't sleep much because I have that conscious that I need to finish or need to do something for the people that who have supported me a lot. So it's for them, and this ride is dedicated for all of those guys who has helped me right from all the stages. So as I said, right, I didn't sleep till 1150 kilometers. My sleep was around 45 minutes, I think, if I take the count. I had a good plan of sleeping there, and I met Rohit, Nakul and all. They blasted me like anything, and they were teasing me a lot. And I thought of sleeping 4 to 5 hours and royally come to the finish stage with all the welcomes. Those guys ruined my plan. So I reached around 3 a.m. in the morning. So there were nobody there. There were very few people. I was visualizing that this is not that I wanted. It's okay that I finished early, and more than that, what I imagined. And frankly, I didn't plan anything. Right from I didn't know my CP names and CP kilometers. I was going with my flow. And be sure that you plan that to ride CP to CP and be mentally prepared for that 100 kilometers or 90 kilometers that what you ride. That helps a lot, where you take a very minimum breaks, and being at the control will get you everything, not wasting anything else. Yeah, I think that's it. Everything else is spoken out and discussed. And thanks for it.
Whenever you fail in a ride, you tend to analyze a lot, right? Last time I did a lot of analysis and just shared with you. It's not easy. Okay? So I'll just stick to only the PBP. Pre-PBP, there are people to help you out, not a problem. They will take you through this and training everything. So what I liked is I would say Paris in cycle in Ramboil is a magical moment. You will never see that festivity. You will never see that carnival atmosphere anywhere in the world, especially in sports. And the controls, which I like, two of them. One was progress and villainous. And in villainous, it's like when you enter the CP, you're not even finished the ride, right? It's like as if you're some stage finisher of a Tour de France. That's the way the reception is. In fact, it pumps you up to go further. That's it. So my ride was, not much planned I did. I just generally what everybody CP to CP. So eat when you feel hungry, drink, sleep whenever you feel like. I did all this stunt, I gained 3 hours of buffer. I sleep in that place, and I found all good things done work. So I fell asleep at 1:38. I took a coffee. I happened to meet a guy who's, 6-time participated in the PBP, a 70-year-old guy. Then I fell asleep again. And then I knew, okay, I will never get a buffer. So best is to ride. If he's sleepy, sleep. Okay. And that's what I did. But one good thing when you ride in the group and behind a peloton, you get a feel of a racing. Because the wheels they use is make a beautiful noise. It goes like. And the best part I explained, like when you go to a village, every village has got one good circle. You just turn the circle and go. All the guys, they lift their, they don't pedal, they go on a freewheeling. And it makes a fantastic noise. And you just go with that, right? You feel like you're also like a racing. And you like it or you don't like it, you will become part of the peloton, generally 4 or 5. They have a discipline and you just, like a balangochi, just stay, don't go inside. Instead, you'll get thrashed out. So you just follow them. They take care of the air resistance and you craft it out. And without you knowing, you are at a good speed. Good speed means, I'm telling you, are at 30 kilometers per hour plus, which normally you will never do. You're at a good speed means real good speed. You're there. I'm a slow rider. Even I was myself looking at 30, 36 like that. I was wondering where. But after where they go, then you are again back to 19, 18. You are struggling. Then one guy will come. Then you cut. You stick to the catch. Then you will take another for somewhere. Maximum you can last for say 4-5 kilometers. Not beyond that. It's very difficult. And other embarrassing is like mine was yet number 545. 536 kilometers. The high guy went. That's okay. Obviously, faster. And I thought, the J. The alphabet. I reached 106. The Z guy had gone. So, my difference from my start time at 5:45, right? 12 slots. It means 3 hours gap. The chap has started. In 100 hours, they just crossed me. It's sometimes very, very embarrassing, how slow I am actually. I don't know, but fast guy is very, very slow. They just go. And after that, you keep seeing. Then the one good, solace is that sometimes you go, then you see another H. Oh, one G is there. Okay. What is that? Then suddenly you see some coming down, some guy X and W. Then you see, okay, P, okay. P is around here. So you see that, that you feel comfortable. What I did normally to know where you are referencing. So there's a app that's given for you to track yourself or your friends and family. I loaded there. I put like one Swami and Prasad, and one is Monish. They know, Monish is means that peloton, the PR peloton is gone there. So I know they are gone. Next is they are the reference. So okay, you keep coming right to them. Then you have some more people, and you keep on Mohan because you start late, right? Okay, there are the bandwidth, right? So you see that from CP to CP you are there. So that is one, and one good experience is that you tend to ride to the left, like I'm sleepy also. Suddenly I saw one car coming. Then you behave like a Mr. Beast. When I'm coming, then we come to the right, because otherwise you'll give a gali. It has happened, and while going at the breast is a pretty long 22 kilometers climb. I felt like I'm climbing. That guy is lifting the road, like that side. He just keep lifting. When he's going up, and suddenly I thought, my mind is working. I was whether I'm riding in Bangalore, whether I'm in Paris, totally confused. I just stopped. The best thing what I did, I took the turn back. When you stop, you don't stop on the right side, Maladeh traffic. You go to the left side, so that others are going. Then I turned back and start taking a video of the guys who are climbing. Some kind of relief. Then you take the tail, you capture those moments. So I spent something like that, go off, get the camera and try to do something so that you get off sleep. And Monster has spared a small that caffeine tablet. I didn't take, last I took it. And as for the diet, a lot of preparation diet, Gojavalaki, and I'm telling you, I just jumped all of them. What Gojavalaki? You're having chaat masala and riding 1,200. My God, this will never do. I just went, got all the meat, turkey, everything what is there. I'm a meat eater, right? I just took all of them, just gobble them. So hungry, eat, whatever there is in a normal in the grocery shops which you come across. And the people are fantastic. In fact, it's the cycling, the vibe which is there in the entire road, which keeps you riding. Okay, there are no tension whatsoever, not required. But it's beautiful. In fact, you will enjoy the interactions with those people. So, thanks for hearing, and we'll share further.
Okay, Greeny, come. Come, Greeny, come. So, until now, we all know people who spoke the first time were there at PBP and they talked about this category. Now we'll have people who have already been to 2019 and we have already heard about them, but they'll tell what they did different this time to be successful.
Yeah, so in 2019, PBP was my first attempt at a 1200. So I had not done any 1200 before, and I was like 6 to 8 months into BRMs. I'd done 2 SRs, and I was like, okay, what next? What next? Okay, I didn't even know about PBP till May, I think. Then when I went to Hyderabad in 2019, they were talking about, they'd created some ride so that another rider could finish the SR and qualify for PBP. So that is when I was like, okay, what is this thing? And I wanted to register. So 2019, I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and try and see how it goes. And just went there, and the atmosphere was electric. I completely enjoyed it. I had a mechanical failure at 780 on the return from Brest. My crank broke. It was like in 2 pieces, but I still wanted to finish it. So I literally begged people to give me their bikes, or there was the volunteers at that time also were very nice. They took me in this big vehicle, took my bike to the mechanic stores because the support was closed by the time I reached Riyadh, and they took me to mechanic stores and everything. And but somehow I could not finish my ride. So that DNF was like gnawing on me. I wanted to finish this PBP this time. But coming up to PBP this time, again I had a lot of issues with 1200s. For 600 I have no issues because I'm very good with sleep management for 600. Without sleep I can finish a 600 easily. Third night also is okay for me. 1000 also, it's a little stretch, but I can do. But when I get into this 4th day of riding, I find it difficult. I start hallucinating, I start seeing things, I start seeing people, and all kinds of things happen on the ride. And sometimes I also keep going in the same place. So that is what happened with me in LEL. I think towards the second last CP or something, I started going in circles. I somehow got lost over there. So even if you have all the navigation, sometimes the mind just does not work. So sleep is very important. So my target for this PBP was to not have hallucinations, to ride comfortably and actually enjoy the ride, meet people, celebrate it, because it's a festival of randonneuring. It's once in 4 years. It's an event that is happening from over 100 years now. So you go there, you prepare. You can't enjoy it because if you don't put in the hard work, you can't enjoy it. You have to do the groundwork, then come and show up. And so with that plan I went, and I had planned beforehand itself to stop at 3 places to have like good hard stops, about 4 to 5 hours a day. So for me, another issue, I don't know if it is like Malayali thing. So I cannot sleep if I don't shower. So I have to shower, sleep. In LEL, I also washed my kit. In Isan also, I washed my kit. So it's like, for me, those things are very important. But in PBP, I decided I will not wash the kit. So I will take a proper sleep break. I will shower, and it has to be like proper so that I don't end up with hallucinations or have other issues. Like you just ride off while sleeping, you end up riding off the road and stuff like that. That's dangerous, plain dangerous, and it's not what you're there for. You want to enjoy the ride and have fun. So everything worked out as I had planned. I took good amount of breaks. I think around 15 hours of planned breaks I took, where I had 3 showers and slept well and ate well, and couple of CPs I ate really well. I stopped there and actually enjoyed the atmosphere, especially in Drew. I had Paris-Brest, that is the desert. So it is PB. I was like, okay, I finished Paris-Brest, or this is on the return. So I earned it. So even if I don't reach the finish line, I had to have the desert. And the main thing is like, randonneuring is all about, meeting different people from different cultures there in the PBP. I think it's important to experience that. Why do you travel somewhere else? And you travel so you imbibe some of their culture, right? So try the food out, try meeting different people, ride with different people, make friends. So these are the main things that I think this kind of opportunity offers, and you should make use of it to the max.
Good morning, everyone. Again, thanks for coming on a weekend. I will not take much time. I'd like to thank Bangalore team, BR team. Everybody have spoken about how supportive the team is. I believe if you are part of the BR, you can achieve much more international rides. You can dream of those things and you will be able to achieve them with a lot of inputs that we get in terms of preparation, the experiences that they share in terms of how they executed their plan, what works, what doesn't work, and also the kind of rides Monster conducts here. If you are part of those rides and you are able to complete them, believe me, that gives you a lot of confidence to take part in such events. Earlier, last time I was able to execute a lot of good things that I was able to follow on what all inputs that the seniors had given to us. However, this time, from an execution point of view, I slipped at one point. That impacted my finish time. I finished 1.5 hours late, 1 hour 40 minutes to be precise. But nevertheless, it was a very big experience. No matter how many pictures we have clicked here, they say that pictures speak more than words. Believe me, it doesn't. You have to be there to experience the big sea of cyclists there. It's totally a different experience to be part of that start line there. Even though there are 6,000, 7,000 cyclists there, the kind of discipline or the way they execute the start one was amazing to experience. And being the entire journey also, we could experience the hospitality that the people extended to us during the ride. Many people did speak about how the villagers came, set up the stall, feeding you in a hot day or even in the night. Some climbs I did experience that, in the night there was one guy who was with a torch coming along, running with us and cheering us. So that kept us going. As I said, execution is also very important. You plan a lot of things. Sometimes it doesn't work for you, but you have to be prepared to change according to that and start riding again. One thing I missed out was keeping alarm when I slept at one point, and I overslept there and somebody woke me up and then I finished the ride. But yeah, stick to the plan, start executing well. Execution is very important. That's what I would say. Thank you guys.
Zoom.
Okay.
Hi, action. I don't have much to share. I think Akash has described already very clearly how our ride plan was. I think this PBP was the most stressful for me. It has not on the saddle, off the saddle before to plan with these guys, and I did not want to ride this PBP at all. there is a culprit. Pradeep forced us that we as a team should ride at least once together and be there in the finish line. And then he pumped us up mentally. We all went and we registered, and then he backed out. So that is the culprit who made us register here, first of all. And then since this happened, I think last December, December onwards, we have been discussing every weekend ride. I used to reverse pump him up mentally, and then he was like, "Yes, bro, we'll do it. And then he used to go back home, speak to his wife, and he's like, "Bro, no, bro, I'm not doing it." So this happened for like 4 or 5 weekends. I tried my best, and then I was like, "Okay, I've given up." Then Akash was very excited. So we were like, "Okay, at least 2/3 of the turtle gang will be in the finish line. That's good enough." So we plan to ride together, have fun, enjoy this first international ride, first passport ride for him. He didn't even have a passport, and he wanted to finish this ride. So I think the 6 months of torture that he has given me is
more than the PBP.
I repent why I actually signed up for PBP, not because it was a hard ride, but because of what he made me go through. It was like constantly I used to nag him to get even a single hair stick moved from one side to another. It was a huge challenge to make him do anything. He's a coach, so he only gets things done from others. He doesn't do anything. So that is a problem we all face.
He used to do it.
Yeah. So in general, we had fun. Pradeep was also pushing him a lot. Pradeep became our virtual coach on the phone. And since we had this unlimited roaming plans over in France, we just took that, and then Pradeep was calling us every now and then, checking our state. Then he was telling me how behind he was, and telling the same thing to him, how much ahead I was. So it was kind of comforting that he was there to support us as a crew member of the. But yeah, overall, I think a lot of planning went in, and nothing happened. Ultimately, he just did what he had to do. He just rode in his own pace, and so that is why I was also angry during the ride with him. But it was fantastic what he did also without training. But I don't advise any of you to do that. It's really suicide if you just go there without training and think that you can finish it, because it's not. I've always been telling to whoever asked me that you should always ride at least 1,000 kilometers, because I did this in 2019. I was excited. Me and Grini, we were so excited to ride an international event. We had just done one SR, and then everybody were like, "Are you sure? Will you finish it?" And then we didn't care. We just went and registered. And after 600, it was my next ride, and that was 1,200. And that was my first beyond 600 ever, and that too in Paris, in those rolling terrain where I had no clue how I have to climb, how I have to manage my sleep. I didn't know that there was something called a sleep management, honestly. So there I failed miserably. I was like 4.5 hours late, hallucinations, and not able to ride, leg pain, neck band injury, whatnot. So that was a pathetic moment of how I finished. So this time I wanted to be a little more prepared. So there was a lot of planning, a lot of 1200s that we finished before. So I think once you are used to the 1200, then your mind is calibrated to how fast and which kilometer mark you have to be at what time. So then it's easier, because when you're exhausted, you cannot go by a plan. You can't write down the plan anywhere. So you just have to have it by your knowledge. So that really helped. And I think we did well. Boys played well. So that's it. Thanks to Turtles. Thanks to DR.
Thank you for waiting patiently and listening to us.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Much of the information is already given, right? In the previous edition of the PBP, I had meniscus tear, my right knee, and I was late, right? So that was unfinished business for me. So this time I had set up some objectives. Now before that, I want to talk about BR Club a little, not too much, right? The SR in 5 days is something that you would want to attempt and do, especially if you are trying to do an event like this, right? It helps you test your equipment, test your sleep management, do all the things, right? And it really helped to prepare, right? In addition to toughest SR and all the other events, and then go show up at the start point for a BR event and ride it, right? I don't have to go outstation, carry my bike, book hotel, do all the other things, and that helped me a lot, right? That takes the training off your bucket list. You are already trained as long as you are doing all the important events, all the key events, right? Another part is when I set the objectives compared to my previous ride, while reaching Brest, right, I was under 32 hours while reaching Brest, and there was a climb reaching Brest, and I wanted to do a calm as a Pelton, and that was when I got the meniscus tear, right? So this time I wanted to keep away from calms, king of the mountains and all the other things, right? What I wanted is finish on time, right? 90 hours, plethora of time. Next is safe without any injury, right? Could be fall, could be ankle issues or back pain or whatever, right? And third one was not having any major issues, mechanical, sleep, food, and all the other things, right? So I started with an Excel file, right? I was thinking 90 hours, 1200 kilometers, right? Approximately 15 CPs. I'm thinking in my mind, I will keep on the safer side 1 hour per CP, right? So the 15 hours are gone. Then roughly 4 days. 4 days, 90 hours is little less than 4 days. But for the sake of calculation, I'll take 4 days. I'm thinking 2 hours of food time. This is in addition to the CP. You step out for a coffee, fill water, or do whatever you want to do. And then 2 hours of sleep time per day. So that is all part of the CP time. 1 hour you're already putting, right? 15 hours, right? So I put all these things under 3 buckets. 1 hour per CP, right? I don't intend to use it, but if I want to use it, I'll use it, or maybe I'll use it at the next CP where I want to take bath or do whatever I want to do, right? Which comes to what? 15 hours plus 4 hours per day, that is 2 hours of sleep time and 2 hours of eating time, which means 16 hours. 15 plus 16, 31 hours. Plus I put some 5 hours for contingency in case I have any mechanical issues and all the other things. That gives me 36 hours of non-ride time and 54 hours of ride time, right? At least on the calculation. And 54 hours of ride time for 1200 or 1219 is about 22.5 or 22.6 kmph moving speed. This is a high level brief. Okay, I need to be able to make this. Maybe I'll try to save some time. Maybe I'll try to speed up a little if that is possible, right? But this is what was the overall thing, and I wanted to complete 400 kilometers in first 24 hours, 350 in the next 24 hours, 300 in the next 24 hours, and last day was 250. This was a very high level brief plan, nothing much in detail or anything like that, and I stick to it, right? When we started, too much of enthusiasm, too much of you had a DJ at the start. I never saw a DJ at any start point, right? That is music.
We had it at local level. They had the local, we had our local.
Agree. And we took count, okay, and they were asking how many from India, how many from different countries. I was seeing from India, Bangalore, we were dominating that group. Okay, right, I was feeling so happy, and we started the ride. We were had some mechanical issues in the beginning. My seat started to slip down. I didn't see that. There's something different. My ride was feeling different. I'm feeling some pressure in my hip and my knee. I saw that my seat had slipped down by maybe an inch or something. I tried to fix it, and then started back, and then it was going very good. Part of different Peltons was following. Some of them was leading. Some of them. I want to talk about Villainous. The celebration at Villainous was so much so that when I reached there, both ways, they announced my name. Okay, and they said, "Welcome, Raghu." I was like, "Oh my God!" On the mic, they are announcing, names of the people, right, that were coming. Right? It was so good, so amazing. I had a couple mechanical issues. I had the first puncture, I fixed it. I had a second puncture in the night, I fixed it. I got a third puncture, then I got into a mechanical support. They changed my tube. They gave me a tube with sealant. Okay, it's like a tubeless, but it has tube sealant inside, right? The last 300 kilometers I did with that. So I utilized my even the mechanical support, buffer time, whatever I had. I was never in a hurry. Okay, while I'm on the saddle, I was riding fine. While I was off saddle, I was doing all my work. At all the CPs, I enjoyed as much as I can. Right? I carried a lot of food. My plan at the control was to eat, rest, and eat, and then leave.
We know.
First 2 days, I was carrying like 1 or 2 kgs of food, especially the rice started in the night, right? I used to stop at the control. I never used to go inside to buy the food. I used to eat my food, fill the water, take a cup of coffee, and then move out.
You made rich people make dosa. I got it right.
Yeah, I mean they, I asked them for some, spices, and I added some spices. They were even, scared to taste it. It was very tasty, right? Couple things that I, was challenging was night rides. As people already said, are very good, but in the night on a descent, right? You're not pedaling. It's very easy to drowse. So that was a little challenging for me, and because I use specs, I have to keep cleaning it. I should not catch fog and other things. After Villainous, next control Montage, right? While on the return, while coming to Montage, there were couple descents that were like drop dead, and in the night, very narrow. And on the right side, you had a ditch, right? You can't stop. The gradient is so much so that if you stop, you can't stand there. You can't stand that the gradient. It's not possible to stand at at that place and forget with the bike. So I was like braking and going slow, and I'm touching 45, 50. Oh my god, what is this? And then people are going left and right. They're going like rocket. Right? That was kind of scary moment for me because I can't stop. I can't go to the side. There's a ditch. Right, and then people are voting me, left and right, like rocket, and I'm thinking I'm going slow, but I'm touching 55. Right, I had to somehow finish those descents. Right, probably I would never attempt those descents if I knew it was like that. Right, so but then it all worked out well. Another thing is when you finish, the feeling is different. The felicitation, and you take a picture with your tricolor. Yeah, I mean that is an unexplainable experience, right? You have to experience. It can't be described in words, right? As people rightly put. And I would encourage everybody to try it out. You should do, if you are a cyclist, you should do PBP at least once in your lifetime. If possible, you should do it every time, but try it at least once. Right? And thanks everyone for all the support.
I'll not take much time. Thanks everyone patiently waiting here. I know many of you still didn't have your break, but whatever it is. We have Swami and Prasad here. Yeah. We have Swami and Prasad here. They have done twice the PVP, and you asked me they're going to come for 2027 also. Monish, I would suggest everybody to take time and read his blog. Once the blog is ready, it will be as many of you spoken about his blogs. So for me, I did some blunder mistake in terms of leaving my brevet card somewhere. I lost some time. I miscalculated the CP timings, and that's how I plan to quit at 5:14 and plan to ride back and enjoyed my ride. That's what it is. If you ask me what is the best moment,
make others to ride actually.
So I was keeping a watch and saying I was to meet everybody and saying go.
But you still did 1,100 almost.
That was in a tour mode or something because I did not worry about the CP timing. So that is what happened. So if you ask me what is the best moment I had in 2019, I still say that. I still remember that girl on father's shoulders. Out of nowhere, she was calling me Ale Ale or something. It was a 2-year-old kid who was doing that to me. If you ask me this time, there was a family from 60, 70 years in our village, and there was probably a 6-month-old baby or something. Boy is fully naked, they hold him like this, and that guy is cheering for everyone. So that is what is stuck. And like that, everybody has multiple of memories and what they have to cherish, experience they have to do, and this is what they for me. And a couple of them spoke about the failures, and many people have failed multiple times, and that is not the actual Venkat Rajmohan is not over here. He's the guy who come third time he'd come for here for the PBP this time, and he finished it. So don't lose hope. Failures are always there. Failures is when you turn to learn more. And finally, what I want to end is, as everybody told, it is not one people's effort. We have a wonderful community over here, including all of you. You would have come and supported the riders for any of the training rides or the BRM rides. Each one of them has been contributed for the PBP success in some way or the other, in any small way. They would have been coming. So that's what we have. And thanks for all again being here on a Sunday, listening to here. And we'll have more number of people. And we had a fantastic performance from India, not just Bangalore, India, because we have more number of people like we are all talking here. I think we get some people are there to inspire and motivate.